The language of our cells is not spoken in words, but in chemical signals. Every day, our bodies receive millions of messages that dictate how we feel, how we move, and how we heal. But in this chapter of life, it can sometimes feel like there's a translation error. The message we want to send, one of energy, clarity, and vitality, gets lost. What we receive back is a quiet fatigue that settles deep in our bones, a fog that clouds our memory, or a stiffness in our joints that wasn't there before. It's not a dramatic failure, but a subtle fading of our own inner brightness. We start to believe this is just how it has to be. But I am here today to tell you that your body still understands the language of nourishment, and we can learn to speak it fluently again. Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and for more than 15 years, I've had the privilege of helping women just like you. I'm here to help you navigate the changes in your body with clarity and compassion. This space is a resource for you, a place of understanding and empowerment. If this is a conversation you want to be a part of, I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our weekly discussions. And I would so love to know who I'm speaking with today. Tell me in the comments. Where are you watching from? I love knowing where this community of strong women comes together from all around the world. Today we are going to talk about something beautiful: color. But not just the colors we see, the colors we eat. We've all heard the advice to eat the rainbow, but it often feels like a vague elementary school rule. I want to reframe that for you. We're going to look at the color code of your food not as a suggestion, but as a targeted cellular strategy. Each color in your food carries a unique set of instructions, powerful plant compounds called phytonutrients, that speak directly to your cells. Let's decode 3 of these messages together. Let's begin with the color red. This is the code for vitality, for circulation, for the very fire within you. So many women I speak with describe a feeling of being muted. Their hands and feet are always cold, even under a blanket. They find themselves getting breathless walking up a flight of stairs they used to take 2 at a time. It's a feeling of sluggishness, as if their inner engine is running on weak fuel. I remember a patient of mine, a wonderful woman named Carol. Carol's greatest joy was her garden, but recently, she confessed to me that she'd started hiring help for the heavy lifting. She said, "Emily, it's not just the bending. When I stand up too quickly, the world goes gray for a moment. My legs feel like lead." What Carol was describing was a circulatory system that was losing its youthful elasticity. The science behind this is quite simple. Think of your blood vessels as a network of tiny, flexible garden hoses, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every single cell. Over time, due to inflammation and oxidative stress, think of it as cellular rust. These hoses can become stiff and narrow. This makes it harder for the heart to pump blood, leaving you feeling drained and unsteady. This is where the red color code comes in. Red foods are rich in a powerful phytonutrient called lycopene. Lycopene is a brilliant antioxidant. It acts like a team of dedicated bodyguards for your blood vessels, protecting them from that cellular rust. It helps keep them soft, pliable, and open. When your vessels are flexible, your heart doesn't have to work so hard, blood flows freely, and that life-giving oxygen reaches every part of you, from your brain to your toes. The solution for Carol was not a complicated prescription, but an invitation to embrace red. I encouraged her to add cooked tomatoes to her meals, tomato sauce, roasted tomatoes, because cooking actually makes the lycopene more available to the body. We also added watermelon in the summer, and a small glass of fresh pressed beet juice a few times a week. Within a few months, Carol told me something that filled my heart. She said, "I was out in the garden today, and for the first time in years, I felt the warmth of the sun not just on my skin, but inside me." That's the power of speaking your body's language. You are not just eating. You are sending a direct message to your circulation. Flow. Be strong. Be vibrant. Now let's move to the code of purple and blue. This is the code for your mind, for clarity, memory, and mood. One of the most deeply felt fears I hear from women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond is the fear of losing their sharpness. It begins with small things: forgetting the name of a new neighbor, walking into a room and not knowing why you're there, or losing your train of thought mid-sentence. Each instance can feel like a small betrayal by the mind that holds a lifetime of memories and wisdom. I think of a woman named Susan, a voracious reader and the heart of her book club. She came to me, her voice filled with frustration. "I feel like I'm in a fog," she said. "I'll read a chapter and the next day, I can barely recall the character's name. In our discussions, I feel a step behind." It's terrifying to feel like the library of your own mind is slowly closing its doors. Susan's experience is deeply relatable. What's happening on a cellular level is fascinating. Your brain is protected by a special shield called the blood-brain barrier. Only very specific nutrients can pass through. And as we age, a low-grade inflammation can settle in the brain, like a constant low buzz of static, interfering with the clear signals between your brain cells. This static is what creates that feeling of fog. The deep purple and blue foods contain a class of phytonutrients called anthocyanins. And here is what makes them so special. They are among the few antioxidants that can cross that blood-brain barrier. Imagine these anthocyanins as skilled gardeners for your brain. They get past the gate, and once inside, they go to work, gently pulling the weeds of inflammation and protecting your delicate brain cells from damage. They help strengthen the connections between neurons, allowing your thoughts to fire more quickly and clearly. So I gave Susan a simple, delicious prescription: a daily cup of blueberries. In her oatmeal, in a smoothie, or just by the handful. We also added in blackberries, roasted eggplant with the beautiful purple skin on, and thinly sliced red cabbage in her salads. She was coloring her plate with purpose. A few months later, at her follow-up, she was beaming. "I'm back," she told me. "Last week at book club, I not only remembered the character's name, I brought up a detail from the beginning of the book that everyone else had forgotten." That's the benefit. It isn't about preventing aging. It's about honoring the incredible mind you have by giving it the protection it needs to shine. You are sending a message to your brain. You are valued. You are brilliant. Be clear. Finally, let's decode the color green. This is the code for your foundation, your bones, your joints, and your body's innate ability to cleanse itself. The morning groan when you get out of bed, the stiffness in your fingers that makes opening a jar a challenge, the quiet anxiety that hovers around a bone density report. These are the realities for so many. Can feel as though your own structure is becoming fragile. I worked with a lovely patient, Margaret, whose greatest joy was her grandchildren. She told me with tears in her eyes that she could no longer get down on the floor to play with them. Her knees ached, and she was afraid she wouldn't be able to get back up. This wasn't just about physical pain. It was a barrier to connection, a loss of a precious role she cherished. The science of our structure is a beautiful partnership. We know we need calcium for strong bones, but calcium can't do its job alone. Think of calcium as the bricks. To build a strong wall, you need mortar to hold the bricks in place. For your bones, that mortar is vitamin K1, a nutrient found abundantly in dark leafy greens. Without enough vitamin K, the calcium can't bind properly to your bone matrix. Can even end up in places it shouldn't be, like your arteries. Green foods are also rich in chlorophyll, the very lifeblood of plants. On a cellular level, chlorophyll acts as a gentle detoxifier, helping your cells sweep away metabolic waste that can contribute to inflammation and that feeling of sluggishness and pain. For Margaret, the solution was to go green with intention. We made a plan for her to have at least one serving of dark leafy greens every single day. Sometimes it was a spinach and pear smoothie, which she loved. Other days it was sautéed kale with garlic, or a big salad with romaine and parsley. It was a small change, but a consistent one. Over time, the change was profound. She started to notice less stiffness in the morning. Her movements felt more fluid. Then one day she came into my office with the biggest smile. She pulled out her phone and showed me a picture of her, sitting right on the carpet, building a magnificent tower of blocks with her grandson. That is the tangible benefit of the Green Code. It's the freedom to move, to bend, to engage with the world and the people you love without pain and fear holding you back. When you eat your greens, you are sending a powerful message to your entire structure. Be strong. Be flexible. Be resilient. Of course, the color code extends through the entire rainbow. The vibrant oranges and yellows in carrots and bell peppers that support your immune system and skin. The earthy whites and browns of mushrooms and garlic that nurture your gut health. The goal isn't perfection. It is intention. It's about looking at a beautiful red pepper, a handful of blueberries, or a bunch of kale and seeing it not just as food but as information, as medicine, as a direct line of communication to the deepest parts of yourself. This journey is not about erasing the years. It's about enriching them. It's about honoring the body that has carried you this far by providing it with the most beautiful, vibrant building blocks imaginable. Your body has an incredible, innate capacity for healing and renewal at any age. You are the architect of your own well-being, and every colorful meal is an act of profound self-respect and love. I would love to continue this conversation with you. In the comments below, share one colorful food you are inspired to add to your plate this week. Reading your intentions inspires us all. Let's create a beautiful tapestry of health together. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Until next time, be well and be kind to yourself.